Right, okay, so let's have a look at some of these coins then, and just get it out there, I'm not your financial advisor, it's not financial advice, it's just my take on the markets, obviously play the markets at your own risk, do your own research, and blah blah blah. Right, so let's get started. So Bitcoin, oh my god, Bitcoin has just, over the period of the last few hours, confirmed a death cross. So the death cross has now taken place. This looks like a bearish sign to me, extremely bearish we could say. We're going to be coming down, I would expect, to around about, well, we're certainly going to be testing these support boxes. Let me just drag this one out a little further. These support boxes here will be tested, as we already see there is a test taking place right now, in fact bounced just on it, so that one's standing at the moment. Probably not going to stand for very long though. That is certainly, in my book, going to break. Once that one breaks, we'll be testing this one right down here. That's going to be 9,200. Okay. I know it's a big drop, but it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure this one's going to happen. Once that one takes place, then the next support will be 9,000, and then beneath that, we're right the way down here at around 8,500. That's probably where we expect to see the bounce. We'll have to see how dramatic this death cross plays out. But as there is a death cross now, it's likely to pull all the alts and everything all the way down with it. It's all going down, there's no question about it. So where does that leave us with these other guys? We'll have a look, shall we? So we're looking now at Matic versus Bitcoin, and actually it's suffering harder than Bitcoin. It's falling fast, it's falling steady. It's broken the 120 Satoshi level, which is what we would be our first significant support. So that has now broken. So we're probably going to be testing the lowest level that we reached so far, which is 113 Satoshis. I'll get rid of this for now, and I'll stick a new one in. We'll pop a little box in, actually, a nice little rectangle. So 113 Satoshis to, we'll say, 120 Satoshis, which is just about where we are. This is our area now that we have to find our bounce within. If we can't find a bounce within that area, then it's very, very sad days for Matic. We'll be finding newer lows as a result of that. So let's have a look at the tether pairing. Tether pairing is obviously suffering still. Probably going to be coming down to test this. We're almost there now, to be honest with you. In fact, we pretty much have been there already. Revisiting our most recent lows of 1.168 cents. MACD wants to come down. Indicators all want to come down. This one's coming down too. This is a real shame with BitTorrent token, I can tell you, because it was looking so good over this last few days. It really, really wanted to get back up there, and it tried so hard. And a couple of things have now come into play, which has caused this sell-off, and will probably continue a sell-off with this guy as well. Real shame, real shame. We were waiting for a correction though, so maybe this correction is only a correction, but the likelihood of that is quite slim now. Given the fact that Bitcoin is becoming bearish, well, it is bearish, and also that Justin Sun's got his kidney stones problem, which sounds ridiculous, but little things like that do matter, and he can't make it to his Warren Buffett lunch anymore, and I don't think there's a date set in for that. But because of that, it's impacted this. Anything Justin Sun's involved, Tron and BitTorrent token, they're extremely vulnerable to his Twitter feed. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we came back down now to test this area again, all the way back down here to 0.00078 and maybe lower. The whole crypto market's a no trade zone for me, unless you're intending on shorting it, and I'm not really much of a shorter, not really. Right, so at the moment, the BitTorrent token is still trending sideways with a slight touch to the bearish side, because our indicators suggest bearish. We've got movement to the down. The RSI is not looking too bearish, but every other indicator certainly is. Still within that range. We're probably going to be testing levels of 8 Satoshis, and hopefully not, but probably even 7. Harmony One. So Harmony One, much the same as all these others. In fact, looking at it now, it's actually looking a little stronger now than it was before. wants to go sideways and down. Again, moving with the rest of the market, we were converging all these moving averages, flopping in and out of each other, but generally they're all sloping down, and a huge steep 200-day EMA facing nowhere other than down. So not looking too good for Harmony One. And here we go on the tether pairing. Tether pairing is pretty much the same. In fact, you could say that Harmony One and Matic are basically trending alongside each other. I imagine this would be happening with Stellar too. Stellar, Stellar's actually worse off actually, which was a shame because we were looking at this one. It was looking like it wanted to break out of its pattern, but now it's decided where it wanted to break to, and it's broken to the downside. It's so unfortunate for all these coins because they're moving with the market, and the market is now bearish. We are now looking at the Bitcoin pairing with Stellar, and actually, when you look at it in this respect, it's not as bad as the others, but it's still not good. Everything's moving down. Indicators want to move down. RSI is having a little bounce now, but that RSI is at the very, very bottom. So yeah, we'll have a move up, but we'll probably come back down again and bring the price even further down. At this stage now, with something like Stellar, I don't actually have a support really for you at this level. We're making new lows, so yeah, it's not great, to be honest with you. Link, someone want me to have a look at Link, and I have been looking at Link a little bit myself, to be honest with you. What we've got here is a bit of a bull flag going on, but given the rest of the market, it's still a no trader for me because we are underneath all the moving averages, and it looks as though we're about to have our own death cross take place in the next few days, unless we can break out this trend. Link actually is such a strong coin now that there is a chance it might avoid this, but given the direction that it's trending in now, it'd have to make some very strong moves now to avoid this death cross. And how long can it really avoid it for? It is subject to the rest of the market, and the rest of the market is turning bearish. If we get this death cross, we'll be coming back down again. Wouldn't surprise me if we came back down beneath this area here of 0.002 Satoshis actually. And we'll have a look on the tether pairing. I think the tether pairing's already had the death cross, so it's just happening as we speak. So it would take an enormous move now for us to avoid this. In fact, I would probably say that the death cross is inevitable, and that would create bearish moves on this guy. The bull flag doesn't really look too much like a bull flag on this one. The only thing you could probably say is that, is it going to fall at the same speed as Bitcoin? It might not. Bitcoin might fall faster than Link, so if you are involved in Link and you're refusing to sell, then you might have that the knowledge that you might not be falling as fast as Bitcoin, but don't get your hopes up. Litecoin. So when we look at Litecoin was and generally is one of the stronger ones, but we're looking at the tether pair in here, and we're falling down now. The first bet would be $88. When we're finding a bounce here, but $88 would probably be a relatively decent bounce. Maybe not bounce, but a support. But if the market wants to come down, the market's going to come down. We had a death cross with Litecoin here, as you can see. The death cross took place here. We fell dramatically from it. We're still suffering from that. The halving event is about 2 weeks away, but doesn't look like it wants to really help it too much right now. And if we look here with Bitcoin pairing, it's actually holding up okay. It's holding up okay, but it's still not doing great. The death cross may be avoided. Oh no, what am I talking about? Death cross already happened. So yeah, across the board, alts, Bitcoin, not looking good. Unless you're planning to short, then it's definitely a no trade zone until we find our bottoms now. Bitcoin's certainly going to come down until it comes down to an appropriate level. It's not for me to be buying, and I'm not really in the mood to short. It's not for me to do that. I'll wait till it finds a bottom level and shows us some signals to pick up on. One thing that could happen is that there could be an alt season take place at some point soon, but given the fact that all these coins appear to be having death crosses right now, alt season is postponed until further notice. So it's not a good time really to be investing anything, fresh money anyway, unless you're in it for the very, very long haul. Then it's your call. But again, I'm not your financial advisor. It's not financial advice. It's just my opinion. Please do your own research, do your own technical analysis, and I hope you all have a really nice day. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.